Knicks fans, what's going on? Welcome to Knicks and Bruises presents the Losers Lounge. Tonight, the Knicks beat the Celtics and sent the Celtics to the Losers Lounge. And we're gonna go in there and look and see what they're talking about. I got my guy Sim in here. What's up,
Going
Sim?
on? What's going on? What's going on, man?
We're gonna pull the curtain back, and look into the Bleacher Report chat and see what those Celtics fans see how they feeling about their team, maybe about our team. You ready?
All right, no doubt. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. We got hooping at Steelers Celtics. Tatum should have gotten that wrist surgery before the season started. Um, I don't know.
I mean,
He's waiting to after the season. Is that what's going on?
I guess so. I'm assuming he's waiting until after the season. I didn't even know how much he needed. He needed to get wrist surgery. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if they're using that as a way to say that, oh well, this is the reason why he's not playing well or the Celtics ain't playing well.
I got one for
Whatever.
you. Tatum should have rested instead of playing in the All Star game if his wrist was bothering him. You
Right.
know, get some more rest, Tatum.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not looking at that as a reason that they lost this game.
Yeah, we're gonna probably see a couple of bunch of different excuses, you know,
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
in the losers lounge. But let's move on. Let's see what else is going on. Who else is in the losers lounge? We got L at L Boogs 5. Grant is an undersized player. He's not right for this team. He need they need size and length to rebound these 3-point bricks. I don't know what the rebound numbers were, but
I
I know
think
they got a lot
the
of offensive rebounds tonight.
they were tied. I think they were tied, like either 45-45 or 54-54 rebounding. I mean, he's an undersized player, but he's a monster though. You know what I'm saying? I can't even deny that he's undersized, but he comes up big for them time and time again. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I
And
don't know. I don't know what you want. That's the way the NBA is played nowadays.
yeah, he plays that Draymond Green role for you guys with less maybe facilitating, but better shooting. Right?
Right. Yeah, definitely less facilitating from definitely less facilitating. He's not a facilitator at all.
And shout out to the chat. Uh, who we got here? King Josh. He says Tatum was playing good though, and I agree. He had a good game. I
What
think there
what what
is.
what did Tatum have tonight?
I want to say he surpassed 30.
Yeah, I mean, he's been averaging that all season long.
I want to say
You know what I
he
mean? So,
surpassed
I mean, I
30.
don't know. I don't know if they should, why anyone would complain. He's been dropping 30 the entire season. He's averaging 30 a game. Celtics fans just,
Oh, they said
listen,
he had 40.
he
Harlem
had 40
CEO.
tonight.
I
I
mean,
didn't,
double overtime. It makes sense. Even if he had 30 at the end of
yeah,
regulation,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I
It
mean?
makes sense. I mean, I didn't even, when I did the show, I didn't even I didn't care what their scores were. So I didn't even look at their scores.
We sure enough didn't go over.
We didn't touch on what there's, you know why? Because to me, I'm like, I mean, the Knicks just, they supposed to be two stars. You remember we were talking about duos,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And obviously, we were comparing Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson to different duos in the NBA. And obviously we compared them to Jalen Brown and Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, and the Knicks just beat their duo without their duo. right? The Knicks just beat their duo without Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, and instead Emmanuel quickly and Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. So I ain't pay no attention to what they did. I was just celebrating the Knicks. I ain't gonna front.
I think that's fair from Damon. He says Tatum would disagree. 6 for 19 from three. I mean,
I mean, I don't know if that means I don't know if that's because of his wrist though. You know,
and I don't know if that's. I mean, I think he's saying that disagree that he had a good game. I think he had a good game. He didn't shoot the ball from three particularly well.
right.
All right, let's move on. Who else is in the losers lounge? Oh, my bad. I don't got this gentleman's name, but he says KG would have been slapping and barking on these dudes in the locker room. It would have been a lot of big baby crying again.
But, yeah, but listen. In today's league, I don't know if you. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's players that do that, but players that do that in today's league, some of these guys, they want people out that or they want to get out of that locker room. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to hear, somebody wild out on them. I mean, look
Here-
at Chris Paul. People hate playing with Chris Paul nowadays.
Here's my only pushback to that. I'll give two pushbacks actually. One because of the Chris Paul. I think part of that might be because of his stature, right? And
What do you mean?
because he's a small point guard.
Okay.
So a lot of times, if he's yelling at anybody, it's somebody a lot bigger than him, and that might have part of to do it, in particular with Chris Paul. But my pushback would only be this: KG, good point, because he's a Celtic, right? I know he played for the Nets. I know he played for the Timberwolves, but he's a Celtic. So I
Right.
think if he was in that Udonis Haslem role, it would be a little bit different, and they probably would need that. I think every team could use Udonis Haslem, and he's pretty vocal. You know what I mean? He's pretty demonstrative when he's yelling at his teammates and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So maybe they do need that in their locker room. Maybe Tatum needs it as well. I, but I'm not trying to deep dive too much into the
I
whole
mean, I
all of
mean,
the Celtics. But
I mean, one of the things is they could just be in a bad stretch. Every team's gonna go through ups and downs, being a good stretch, being a bad stretch. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we've seen the Knicks do the same thing, being a good stretch, being a bad stretch. And when the Knicks are in a bad stretch, fans want everybody traded. Oh, I told you they couldn't do it and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
should have kept this guy. Should have
Should have, yeah. I mean, you heard what's the dude's what's homeboy's name? The Celtics fan that we had on the show.
be smooth.
Be
Shout out to
smooth,
be smooth.
right? Be smooth. Hates Marcus Smart. At least he was then,
2 years ago, absolutely.
right? He was hate. Oh, we need him gone. Get him out of here. I hate Marcus Smart.
Say should have
Uh,
took him with Fournier.
right? Exactly. That's exactly what he said. Should have took him with Fournier. That's exactly what he said. I mean, he goes on to win Defensive Player of the Year and is a critical part of them making it to the finals. So, you know how fans get.
Absolutely.
We better than anybody know how, sometimes fans be getting.
Absolutely. All right, let's move it right along.
I'm just surprised none of them ain't trying to, come at the Knicks.
We might have missed a couple. We'll see. Let's see. Who's this? Semja. I don't know. Acknowledge me. Shout out to acknowledge me. The Celtics can't hold a glass of water on a countertop right now. no killer instinct whatsoever. I mean, they got some things to figure out, but if I was a Celtics fan, I think tonight's game shouldn't be why you're mad, right? It's probably the stretch that they're in,
Right.
as opposed to like tonight's game. Tonight, relatively, I think you should be. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna say proud, but they fought back. You know what I mean? They made the game go into overtime, and it was scrappy back and forth. And at the very least, you get a taste of what to be worried about in the playoffs if we match up.
Right. And not to mention they was playing the Knicks. The Knicks are a good basketball team. You went into double overtime against a good basketball team. It's gonna be tough. You're not just gonna. It's gonna be tough. I know. So I got a buddy that on my Facebook. He's a Celtics fan. On my Facebook page, I told him, all right, we coming for you guys on Sunday. He laughed it off. I'm gonna just go back to that comment and just put update with a question mark. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Just put update with a question mark. Ask him to update it.
Oh man! Shout out to Ron, John, and Jose, still Knicks fans. He said the losers lounge. Yeah, man, we gotta see how they feeling after the game. So
Yeah, we need some
figure
Celtics fans to jump in here and tell us how they feeling after the game too.
absolutely, or leave it in the comments.
Or
You
leave it
know,
in the comments. If you're a Celtics fan and you listening, leave it in the comments. Want to know how you feeling? Because soon NBK is coming to your city, so we can take it over the same way we do DC.
and we could see y'all in the losers lounge too.
You
Put your
know,
comments in Bleacher Report, and you may make the losers lounge. Moving right along. Sim, I might need you to get that one.
hmm? What's up? Which one you at?
Uh, I
What
got it
number you want?
actually. I got it. Here we go. Boom. Hooping at Steelers and Celtics, or at Steelers Celtics. I told y'all we should have traded Grant and Pritchard at the deadline for a wing. And there you go. You know, some people mad at their players after a loss. This is the second guy that apparently doesn't like Grant. Um, I like Pritchard too, honestly, as a player.
So
But
they
another
saying
another wing they need. You think they need another wing?
I don't think so.
That's
Unless
interesting.
unless
That
unless they feel when you look at Grant, maybe they feel like he's too undersized to play that power forward spot. Maybe they feel like they have enough power forwards there,
mm,
and they need another wing that can help defend opposing wings, so that it's not always Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. Maybe they feel that way.
fair enough. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Um,
Because if your two best players are wings, and then now they got to go always defend other wings. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you chance either putting them in foul trouble, or maybe they're just being overworked in that game and they can't fully focus in on the offensive side. I don't know.
Shout out to Damon again with the comment. Are you familiar with Damon or Damon? Are you a Celtics fan, or you part of the MBK fan? Let me know. I know this is the second comment. You're saying no wing needed. I'm gonna go on a whim and assume you are a Celtics fan, and you're saying you guys don't need a wing. But yeah, let's move right along. Who we got? John, the Electric One. Boston, tighten the F up, man. This might have been before the game ended.
I mean, it was probably during that time when the Celtics were up maybe 14 points or something like that. And then the Knicks stormed back in the third quarter. Because I'm pretty sure Celtics fans thought they had the game won, right? And then the Knicks started storming back, and man, you'll quickly start going crazy in the third quarter. You know what I mean? And that's probably when he said that. He's probably like, yo, what's going on here? We was just, we supposed to have this game in the bag. Sort of like last night in the in my championship game. We're in high school, so we don't got two separate ways to go into the locker room. We had to go through the same door, and as we're walking through, one of the girls from the other team was like, "Oh yeah, we got this." You know what I mean? Obviously, in the second half, we came back and sent them home crying. You know what I mean? And maybe Celtics fans or this guy felt like they had the game won, and then all of a sudden the Knicks start storming back, and he's like, "Yo, hey, tighten up. Got to tighten up."
Yeah, I mean, it could have been at a bunch of different points of the game. It's points of the game where we probably would have been screaming the same thing. Like, I know I was saying, close it out, one more stop. I kept saying that a bunch of times tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I kept saying that a bunch tonight too. One more stop. Just get this stop. Just get
mm-hmm.
this stop. You know what I mean? I'm sure Celtics fans were saying the same thing. Just get this stop, especially at the end of the first overtime. I think it was the end of the first overtime when they went up by 2. And then Emmanuel quickly comes down and ties it up at 121. I'm pretty sure at that point they were like, just get a stop right here. Stop playing around with these guys. But, you know, couldn't get
Uh,
the stop.
Shout out to Damon Gay. He says a fan of both sides. Well, um,
Hold up.
appreciate you
Oh,
joining
wait a
us.
minute. But Damon,
I
wait a
was gonna
minute,
let it
Damon.
slide.
Hold on. You can't let that slide. How can you be a fan of both? You can't be a fan of both sides. I'm sorry. You can't be a fan of the Celtics and the Knicks. There's no way. You got to explain that one to me. There's no way. That's like being a fan of the Red Sox and the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? How can you be a fan of the Celtics and the Knicks? That don't make no sense to me. Right now, you trying to play both sides of the coin. Dave, you trying to play both sides of the coin. You trying to say, all right, well, if the Knicks win, I'm a fan of the Knicks. Celtics win, I'm a fan of the Celtics. Nah. You got to
Well,
choose, man. You got to choose. You got to choose sides.
well,
That's
listen.
that's 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 what that's what Franklin said to Leon in the last joint. He said,
Pick a
you either got
side.
to choose sides or take your wife and go back to Africa.
That's right.
Bro, you got to choose sides. There ain't no way. You got to choose
Here-
sides.
Here's what I say, man. Keep tuning in, like, subscribe, and we'll get you back on the right track. You know what I mean? We'll get you back on the right track. That's for sure. And I did have another shout out to the coolest 718. He said you can't be broke, bro. Um Kavan says Celtics need another wing. Need to come up off Jalen Brunson. And
They need to come up off of who?
Jalen Brown, excuse me, Jalen Brown.
Oh, I mean, they're not gonna do that.
I mean, it's probably just wishful thinking from a Knicks fan trying to say, yeah,
Come
we'll
on.
take Brown off your hands.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
get
We'll
you that
give you
wing.
Grimes. We'll give you Grimes. We'll give you Grimes.
All right.
And we'll
Move
take
right
Jalen
along.
Brown.
Let's see. Bob at Bob John. We miss Malcolm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon was a big pickup for them. You know what I mean? Um, Obviously, he's a strong defender. He can shoot the three. He's one of those guys that knows how to stay composed. He's played in some big moments, so he's definitely a big pickup for him. And if he's not playing, you definitely gonna miss him. You definitely gonna miss him. You know what I mean? The thing is, and I know they didn't sign him for a whole lot of money, but I don't know why he was out. but that's what you come to expect from Malcolm Brogdon, which is one of the reasons why you know he's a bench player for the Celtics now after being a starter for however long. The injury problems, you know what I mean? Injury prone. But to have Malcolm Brogdon as a
Hmm.
backup point guard, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you got to have known that came with the territory. That was the risk that you
Yeah.
take. I think that also might have been the reason. I mean, granted, defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart, but that might have been the reason why you don't even question whether you change the starting lineup with him, because now if he's in that reserve role, you're not dependent on him when he's out. You know what I mean? You don't got to change the whole lineup and everything else. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, I miss him,
Yeah.
but I think we still would have won. This team is different.
Oh, I don't have no doubts in my mind that we still would have won.
Let me
And one, the Knicks just match up well with the Celtics, in my opinion. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, they just match up well.
yeah, I've been saying that for 2 years. And it's crazy because they weren't the same team they are 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like they've obviously gained more experience and are a tougher team.
You
But
talking about
I
the Knicks or the
well, both of us. But I was referring to the Celtics. You know, they definitely a tougher team than 2 years ago when we were in the playoffs. And I was like, I wouldn't mind. I thought we matched up well against them.
mm-hmm.
Um, but now, yeah, we're a better team as well, as are they. But yeah, we
Yeah.
still match up well. We definitely still match up well. Um, Shout out to D Public Enemy. Says Beantown's crying.
Yeah, they crying. Yeah, they crying. They hurting. Beantown
uh,
is hurting.
Ran Rock salute.
There's a new beast in the East.
You know who that is.
I mean,
And
if you look at it over the last 20 games, the Knicks got it. The Knicks are like top 5 in the NBA over the last 20 games.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep.
Yeah. Like, yeah, over the last 20 games, like top 5 in the league. So, you know, um, will they stay this way? We'll find out. But
Yeah. All
they
right.
might
Let
be
me.
a new beast in the East or another beast in the East, you know?
Oh, Jay. Shout out to Jay. He says we're not playoff ready. He ain't even say like championship ready, Eastern Conference Finals ready. Could the Celtics be a first round exit?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Right now, as the second seed, they would be playing whoever's in the seventh seed. Miami.
Let's yeah.
They would play Miami. I mean, it would be a tough matchup.
Yeah.
It'd
Yeah.
be a tough matchup, no doubt about it, but I don't think they lose to them.
Here's the thing. If the Celtics continue to play the way they've been playing post All-Star
Mhm.
and Miami continues to play the way they've been playing post All-Star, now you got a team that's like I was saying, oh yeah, I want to be playing our best basketball going into the playoffs. When you run into a team like that and you happen to be playing arguably your worst basketball, anything can happen.
Yeah, I know. No, definitely. There's no doubt about it. The only thing about the playoffs is one of the reasons they made each round a 7-game series is because normally the best team will win in that series. You know what I mean? Um, and so if what's his name, Miami were to win, then I would say that they're the best team, you know. But I think normally the best team wins in a 7-game series. That's why they make it so long. You know what I mean?
I'm
D Chan said, "I love this. Keep it up, Sim." This is Tony's idea, ladies and gentlemen. So you shout out to Tony for this idea. This is
appreciate it,
Tony's
man.
show. This is Tony's show.
Appreciate it. I want to shout out the chat as well because they really going in on oh man, what's my guy's name? The Damon. They really
Oh,
going in on him. They tell him pick a side, ban
you gotta pick a side.
you gotta pick a side.
You gotta pick a side. There
Yeah.
ain't no. I'm a fan of both of them. You
fake
can't do that. Pick a
fake
side.
Knicks fan, a a true bandwagoner. Like, nah,
Damon, you
son,
asked
you
for it, bro.
bugging. Here's what I'm gonna say, man. Let's just convince him. Let's keep watching both. You know what I mean? But at some point you will have to pick a side
You gotta pick a
for
side.
sure.
You gotta pick a
You
side.
know what I
You
mean?
gotta pick a side.
And the Knicks, they gonna keep making it easier and easier for you to choose. Um, shout out to Humble Down. Y'all are brilliant. Losers Lounge. Appreciate you, bro. We out here working, man. We trying to come up with new creative content for all you guys. So and always, man, I wouldn't even be on camera if it wasn't for the Podfather Sim. So yeah, we share all the credit. MBK
Appreciate it.
fan. Let's go. Oh, that's the same one. My bad. It's so easy to get caught up in the moment. This team will be fine, although serious issues right now.
I mean, he kind of contradicting himself, right? He's saying the team will be fine, although we got serious issues right now. I mean, when you have serious issues, that doesn't always mean you're gonna end up being fine for real. And you got serious issues, that means you got serious issues. I do think the Celtics will be fine. You know what I mean? I think they're just going through a rough stretch. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Um, I think they're going through a rough stretch though. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, and this kind of stuff builds character. Here's what I'll say: if they started the season like this and were exactly where they are right now, Celtics fans would have a different
Yeah,
mentality.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But yeah, they in a rough stretch right now. I like the fact that he's a Celtics fan and he's not necessarily losing faith. You know what I mean? Like
right,
he's still saying it'll be okay.
right.
Um, Sim, if there's any comments in the chat that you see that you want to highlight,
Hmm.
feel free. You know what I mean? I'm just trying not to. I'm trying to acknowledge as many people as I
Yeah,
can.
no doubt, no doubt,
But
no doubt.
appreciate everybody joining in. Let's see. Let's move on. We got Celtic G Lock Glock or Glock
Glock,
Glock.
Glock,
My bad.
9,000.
Glock 9,000. All right. I like G Lock just for monetization purposes. uh he says we had around 20 seconds left with 2020 22.
2,222 timeouts.
Oh.
And Grant doesn't listen.
Went down to 10 and took the last shot. Joe is trash. Oh,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
The thing
is
is, the
that the
thing
is
is,
that the possession
here's the thing,
where
man.
Tatum got it late?
It might be. It might be. You know, I don't know if that's the possession where he got. I don't know. I'm not sure which possession he's talking about. But here's the thing that people don't get, man. When you're out there in the midst of a game, it's tough to see everything that's happening. It's tough to make decisions under pressure. That's why people who can make decisions under pressure are so valuable, even if they're not your star players. You know what I mean? Um, because it's tough to make decisions in the midst. It's tough to even see what's going on in the midst of a game. Like you look and you're trying to figure out, yo, what are they doing? What's happening? Why are they successful doing this or that? Right? And you're trying to see it when you go back and look at the game on video, the game looks entirely different than it does when you're there live. So, when you're live and you talk about, oh, we should have called this timeout, that timeout. It's hard to think. That's why some of these players who are really, really have a good IQ, who can stay cool under pressure and stuff like that. That's why um, those guys are valuable.
Yeah, that's a fact, son. That's a fact. Um, the chat got me cracking up out here though. Dante
It
said that
did. They got
Boston got
dominated by the
dominated by the
Knicks.
Knicks
Yeah.
and Nets.
And Nets. The Nets. Today's Nets. Not yesterday's Nets. Not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks ago's Nets. Today's Nets.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We got one more. One more. Let's see. Natty Ice. That's email. All right. I miss
Mhm.
email too, but he's gone. We need to move on and hope Joe gets better with these losses too. Work in progress.
That's what it is. Work in progress. You know what I'm saying? He's the coach now. He's figuring out his teams. Teams figuring out what he likes, what he's doing, all of that kind of stuff. Who knows if he's got the same presence as Ime, but yeah, it's a work in progress. Um, it's work in progress.
Yeah.
It's work in progress.
But you know what?
But Ime was new last season, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Right.
Yes, he
Oh,
was.
there you go.
And given even with his success, there's no confirmation or there's no guarantee that he was going to be able to duplicate that. You
Right.
you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
so as much praise and credit that he does get, and albeit he deserves it, that's one year. You know what I mean? It was a
Right.
phenomenal year, but it's not a track record. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not a an established thing.
Yeah.
But this
But
this was
anyway,
this was
yeah,
fun.
it was fun, and
Um,
it's really really fun to listen to Celtics fans listen to them cry and whine. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. Any team we beat, it's fun to listen to them cry and whine. Because Knicks fans, we've had a lot to cry and whine about over the years. So it's nice to see some other teams cry and whine too, especially a team like the Celtics.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Thank you guys for joining us on the Losers Lounge. There will be many more Losers Lounges. The more it used to be Knicks and bruises. Now the Knicks are giving out the bruises, and
Word.
we gonna see how these other fans suffer when we put the bruises down on them. But any last words, Sim? Anything you want to
Nah,
say?
man, I think it's dope. Just continue to tune in, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, as the show grows. Right now we're taking comments. Or Tony's taking comments, finding comments, bringing them up to discuss it and talk about it. Sooner or later, there'll be fans from other teams coming up too. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
if you're a fan from another team and you run across this, and we play your team next,
Reach out.
reach out. You know what I mean? Get in the chat, whatever it is, so we can highlight your comments and tease you too.
No doubt, no doubt. This was definitely fun. A little longer than I expected, but when you laughing at Celtics fans, you could do it all night.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
We
that's
working
it,
out the
man.
kinks. We working out the kinks. This is gonna be dope. So
Yes, sir. Yes,
no
sir.
doubt,
Shout out to the chat, Sim. Appreciate you helping me put this together.
no doubt.
Yo, Black is time, and I see y'all tomorrow. Knicks and Bruises, Queens Court. MBK fan, man, we
Mhm.
out of here.
Yeah.